Today, the days when we want to make everything new, everything modern, everything nice, everything appealing. One thing I want to tell you, in fact, I can even finish what I'm trying to say there. Don't try to tamper with the old, rugged cross. It is still painful, it is still shameful, it is still ugly, it is still heavy, it is still old. Deliberately. Now in Isaiah 14:12 to 14, you know the verse is very common. The devil, Lucifer, was a superstar in heaven. And he was given the area of worship. But he messed up. He rebelled with God. And he was thrown down to earth. I'm just trying to be precise. So when he came here, one time, he met with a person called Adam and Eve. And you know the story. He deceived them. They ate what is called the tree of good, knowledge of good and evil. So, he introduced evil on earth to our great-great-parents, Adam and Eve, and our product. That is you and me, we are evil, naturally. Now, because of evil, you can see what is happening in this world. So much evil. Sometimes you even ask, where is God in this? What has happened to God? Where is God in this? If God was there, please never say that. We are evil by nature. Some of the areas, the effects of evil, you find that? You lose your freedom. Abuse of human rights. We have no independence. There's no peace in this world. We claim to have peace, but there's no peace. Wars everywhere. Divorce rate is nothing but evil. You have heard about torture chambers, story kama hizo. By the way, some of these torture chambers, they were dreadful. I don't know why. Why? I understand in the days of Hitler, na kina watu walikuwa wanaitwa Nero. Can't remember their names well. Walikuwa wanashikwa. You are taken to a very small bathroom. Alafu wanafungua hiyo mfereji ya maji. It didn't have that cup, that shower cup. Ni mfereji tu na maji. So, and they didn't open a lot of water. Inafunguliwa drops kidogo ile ting. And because they had learned psychology, mahali umesimama hivi, you don't move, hiyo drop inakulenga hapa tu. Ding. Pole tu, ding. But what they have learned is, hiyo drop after some hours, itakuwa inalia kama bomb. Ka drop tu kamaji. But because umefikuwa fixed na kuzoea hapo, itakuwa inalia kama bomb. and a time will come you die. Evil came to the world. Now, when evil came to the world, we have been told that choices have what? Consequences. The choice that Adam and Eve made through the devil had some consequences. Because they tried to follow the devil, Lucifer, then Matthew 25:41 says this, "Then he will say to those on the left hand, 'Depart from me, you are cast into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels.'" That is the consequence of evil and sin. There is a place prepared called hell. I know we don't like to hear that, but it is in the Bible. If it is in the Bible, we need to tell you. Now, hell is not a very good place. In Mark 9:43-44, we are told that fire shall never be quenched. There's a fire that you cannot quench. In verse 44 is, where there is worm does not die. There are worms that don't die, and also fire that is not quenched. In Matthew 22:13, we are told, is a place of darkness, weeping, and gnashing of teeth. In Revelation 19:20, is a lake of fire. Hell is therefore a place for the devil and his angels, as we have read. But those who refuse to believe in Jesus, they also accompany the devil. God did not prepare that place for us. But if we refuse to accompany Jesus, to believe in Jesus, then we get destroyed there. No wonder Jesus comes in. God comes in to set a plan that we shall see. And this plan, he began by telling us, for God, John 3:16, very common. Say it with me, for God so loved that he gave his only begotten, that whoever does what? Believes in him shall have what? Shall not perish, but have what? Eternal life. That's why we are talking about the old rugged cross. Solution to evil, solution to hell is the old, say it with me, old rugged cross. As ugly as it looks, it appears, it sounds, it is the solution to our evils and the solution to hell. Now, this cross, as we read some scriptures in our reading, you find that there was mockery around the cross. This mockery around the cross with many words. Let's have a look. Matthew 27:38 is, the two robbers were crucified, with him, one on the right and one on the left, just mocking Jesus. He was crucified, and they made sure they make him at the center. Crucified with robbers. Mockery. Madharau tu. Binadamu. Because of the evil in us, we crucified him with two criminals. Verse 39. And those who passed by blasphemed him, wagging their heads. Yani watu wanapita wasema hehe. People of those days. I'm trying to just simplify it. Verse 40. And saying, you who destroy the temple and build it in 3 days, save yourself if you are the Son of God. Come from the cross. Madharau tu about the cross. Mockery of the cross. Did you know? Ukipeana ushuhuda. People are going to challenge your testimony. The time you say, I'm born again, I love Jesus Christ. People are going to mock you. Watu wa wokovu hawa. Wokovu wenu unawapeleka wapi? Hii kanisa yenu. Inawapeleka wapi? Kuimba sawa tu, kuimba. You know, I began singing nikiwa mdogo. Hata huyu Mama Pauline nilimtoa akiimba mahali alikuwa anaimba. I was the choir master. I don't know what happened. So I've been singing for quite some time. Baka nikaingia jeshi. So those old friends, when we meet, wale tulikuwa nao shule, jeshi, kila mahali. Unaona mtu anakuuliza, bado unaimba? Yani na ile madharau tu. Are you still singing? Yani madharau tu. Bado unaimba zile nyimbo zenu. Mockery of the cross. Your faith will be challenged. Matthew 27:29, when they had twisted a crown of thorns, they put on his head and a reed in the right hand, and they bowed the knee before him and mocked him, saying, Hail the King of the Jews. And madharau tu. The time you talk of salvation, the time you talk of being born again, madharau tu. Mockery. You should be aware of this. Nilikuwa Nakuru nikiwa jeshi. And because of that singing, nilianzisha kwa very nice. Nakwenda kwa kanisa tu. Every Sunday niko kwa kanisa. Other officers, kuna mahali inaitwa officers mess. Waka huko. Na huko ni nini? Ni vinywaji tu. Vinywaji, kanyama. Niko officers mess ni kama hotel. Unaweza order anything na upate. So, after service, kanisa ikilipomalizika, mimi naenda mess because ni am officers. Ndio an officer. Kwenda pale kwa madharau tu. Naambiwa padri umeingia. Na mimi sio padri, sikuwa padri. Padri is an equivalent of pastor. Anglicans wanaita pastor mapadri. Hey, wanaambiwa padri yani madharau tu. Padri ameingia. And then ananiambia unakunywa nini? And they know. Unakunywa nini? Naambia mimi nakunywa Fanta. Waiter, leta kreti moja hapa ya Fanta. Muletee kreti moja. Alafu mwingine anasema na akimaliza hiyo nitanunua ya pili. Madharau tu. Mockery around the cross. Mockery at the cross. If you are born again, you will have to carry shame of the cross. Don't ignore these things. It's part of the game of salvation. Don't ignore. Mark 4:65. Then some began to spat on him and to blindfold him and to beat him and to say to him, prophesy. And the officer struck him with the palm of his hands. Shame iko. I want to give you just very simple examples. Kuna wengi wetu wamefurahi wakati hizi vitu zimekuja. Why? So that you can keep your Bible where? Biblia iko hata hiyo okay, hii iko nayo. But we don't want to carry what? Why? We are being ashamed. Kubeba Biblia tu peke yake, sitaki kwenda mambo mingi. Kubeba Biblia tu peke yake is shameful. Na watu wengi hawataki kubeba, waonekane ati unaenda. Of course they'll mock you. They've done. So unaona ile watu wanabeba mabiblia kubwa kubwa. Wanaenda mabiblia kubwa kubwa, wanajifanya they are holier than thou. Carry it. Don't be ashamed. It's part of the game of the cross. Kuna wengi wakienda mahali, they don't want to confess Christ. They don't want to be known. Sio kitu ingine, they don't want to be ashamed. Be an example of Christ. Don't be ashamed. Wachie nilikuwa nasema yangu, kuna wengine wakienda kwa crowd somewhere, and then unakuta watu wanakunywa hizo vinywaji tu because hataki kuonekana aibu na hataki kuwa mocked. Anaitisha Coca-Cola, alafu inawekwa nini? Inawekwa kitu. So ikija watu wanaona unakunywa nini? Coca-Cola. But within a short time unaanza kuimba kikamba. And do you know what they say? Alikuwa anajifanya anaenda kanisani. Tunajua tu, tunajua. Don't feel ashamed. Is part of the game. And nimeongea tu vitu kidogo kidogo zile zinatuhusu. Kuna mingi. There's so much about the cross. And that's why in somewhere tunaambiwa carry your own cross. Now, nisije nikaongea mambo ya mockery sana. There is also triumph of the cross. Ama glory of the cross. Ama the mystery of the cross. Ama the beauty of the cross. And one of it inaitwa the great salvation. Hebrews 2:3. The great, not salvation, but what? The great salvation. That's the glory or the triumph of the cross, the beauty of the cross. God had a plan, as I said before. After evil, after whatever sinning, after whatever, God had this plan of salvation. Now, he's saying this in Hebrews 2:3. How will you escape judgment if you neglect such a great salvation? How will you escape judgment if you neglect such a great salvation? How will you miss hell if you neglect such a great salvation? Why is it great? God sent his only son. He had no, hakuwa na watatu aseme huyu wacha nichukue huyu nitabaki na wawili. Only one. This one son is the reason it's called the great salvation. And he was sacrificed to redeem us. Sacrificed on the cross, the old, rugged cross, shameful, painful, being mocked, done all the nasty things you can think of. To die with criminals. And this great salvation is unique. There is a typology of salvation in the Old Testament, but does not match this. In the Old Testament, we had Noah and his family saved. But there was no cross and there was no blood shed. That's why this kind of salvation cannot match the great salvation. We see Lot and his household saved in Sodom and Gomorrah. When every person was burned there, they were saved. But there was no cross, there was no bloodshed. That's why the great salvation still stands alone. We saw salvation of Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. When they refused to bow to the king, they were saved. But again, there was no cross and no bloodshed. That's why the salvation in the New Testament through Jesus Christ, the only Son of God, Hebrews is calling it the great salvation, and is telling us is through that nasty cross, that old cross, that rugged cross, that we get redemption. The other thing about the triumph of the cross, the beauty of the cross, is death was defeated. The thing that we fear most was defeated by this ugly thing we call the old rugged cross. 1 Corinthians 15:55. Inasema hivi, oh death, where is your sting? Oh death, where is your victory? The sting of death is sin. But, hey, that verse 57, so, hey, gracious. But thanks be to God who gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Somebody should say amen there. Now, why? Death, if there's anything we fear, inaitwa nini? Death. It's interesting. Mimi na wewe ama na Pastor Brian hapa tunaweza hata broad shoulders, tunaweza brush shoulders, hugging, nini. When he's alive and when I'm alive. And we don't fear one another. Ako na nguvu, niko na nguvu. We don't fear one another. Kila mtu hapa. But go and see that person in the mortuary. Ana whatever. The fear of death. Now, the Bible is very clear. We should know this. There is physical death. Physical death is when the body and the spirit separates. That is what we call death on earth. This is in Corinthians Endo kasome chapter 15. When the body and the spirit separates, that is what we call death. Physical death or natural death. Spiritual death is a lifestyle. Nataka ujue hivyo. Spiritual death is a lifestyle. Why? Because the spirit does not die. Kama hii mwili yetu. Na that's why unasikia kwa matangazo, mwili wa marehemu uko wapi? Uko city mortuary. Ama mwili wa marehemu uko Chiromo. Swali ni kwamba marehemu mwenyewe hako wapi? Yeah, I know you didn't know that. Na wanaongea vizuri. Even people who don't know the Bible. Wanasema mwili wa marehemu uko city mortuary, mwili wa marehemu uko Chiromo, mwili wa marehemu yuko wapi? Na tutaenda kulaza mwili wake kwa nyumba yake ama kwa boma yake ama marehemu mwenyewe ako wapi? And they are very right. Marehemu mwenyewe is your spirit and my spirit. And that one doesn't die. When we were talking about hell, this the thing that goes to hell. And because it doesn't die, that is what we are saying is a lifestyle. Hiyo nataka ujue kutoka leo, wale hawakujua. If you contemplate to commit suicide, think twice. Because what was suicide wanafikiria, when I hang myself, mambo imefanya nini? Kitu imeisha ni mwili wako, itapelekwa mortuary, itaenda hapa chini. Wewe mwenyewe the spirit bado iko. And the spirit is internal. The only difference is itaenda kukaa wapi. Is either itaenda mbinguni ama itaenda wapi? Yeah. And this is now the mystery of the old rugged cross. What it did. That's why it defeated this death. Wacha hii hapa. Hii hapa, Biblia inatuambia it is appointed for man to die. There's nothing you can do na hii hapa. Whether you eat fruits kila siku, whether unaenda gym kila siku, it is appointed for man to die. To do what? Die once. And thereafter do what? Face judgment. Wala mnasoma Biblia. Kula fruits ni sawa, kwenda kwa gym, hata mimi niko na weights kwa nyumba ndakuta. But that one is not a solution to death. Ya keep what? Nasema I'm keeping fit. Kisha story. I'm only keeping fit. The solution of death, the old rugged cross. And it was defeated, the death was defeated at Calvary. Number 3 and the last one, the mystery of the cross, the triumph of the cross, the glory of the cross, the beauty of the cross. Inatupatia something called undeserved favor. In other language, inaitwa nini? Grace. Without that ugly thing, we are nobody. We are nothing. Tungekuwa tumeisha zamani. Kama Sodom and Gomorrah, tungekuwa tumeisha. Kama wakati ya Noah, the flood, tungekuwa tumeisha. The only thing ile na cover is when God aliangalia his son being mocked, being crucified, being spit on, being done all nasty things, being called names. Akasema, sawa sawa, huyu ndiye amewaletea grace. You don't see it. But the main sins that we commit, dhambi zile tunatenda, they are covered by this great thing called grace. undeserved favor. Why is it undeserved? It is because the cross did it for us. Sikiza vile Romans inasema, Romans 11:5. Even so, then, at the present time, there is a remnant according to the election of grace. Verse 6. And if by grace, then it is no longer of works. Otherwise, grace is not grace. Kama ni kwa matendo yetu, naambiwa then hakuna grace. If it's about works, then don't count grace there. It is what Christ did on the cross that makes us sleep at night. Unalala na ujui ukilala nini inaendelea, unaamka asubuhi. It's grace. And this grace is whether you are born again or not born again. Hii masomo unajidai umesoma sana is through grace. On Friday, sikujua nitasimama hapa. I felt so sick. Kama umesoma, thank God, it is grace. Ile kazi unafanya, thank God, it is grace. Wale watu wako hospitali, kwani wamefanya nini? Those people are sleeping in hospitals. Wamefanya nini? Dhambi kuliko sisi? No. The grace keeps us. Na hii grace ikazaa kitu ingine. Inaitwa compassion. And the devil doesn't want you to know this. Compassion. And because you are ignorant of this, and therefore I'm going to inflict hapa with ignorance, wewe na mimi ama human beings, hata tujui kama kuna kitu inaitwa nini? Compassion. So, and when that is absent, what happens is, kuna vitu inakuja kwa akili. Hizo zinakujia kila mtu. I'm good for nothing. Wakati mambo imeenda mbaya. Ama unakuja nafika mwana unasema, hey, I'm so sinful that hata grace saezi ingia hapa. Mwingine alisema, alijiita an accredited sinner. Just like Paul, kuna wakati Paul alisema, I'm chief of sinners. Ama, God does not love me. That is very common. And then somebody anakuja na kuambia, kuna those watu wanajiita spiritual giants. Kuambia ndugu ama dada, hii maombi yako hatuwezi pita hii ceiling. Naomba ina bounce back hapa. The way you are. Hii maombi yako haiwezi fanya nini? Sipita hapa. You feel so bad. But Lamentations 3:22. Lamentations 3:22 inasema hivi. Through God's mercies, we are not consumed because his compassions never fails. A very simple verse, but the devil has blinded us. We don't want to accept. Let me read again verse 22. Through God's mercies, we are not consumed because his compassions never fail. Verse 23. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Ni nini ingine unataka? Nini ingine unataka? But today, as I finish, all what I wanted you to know is the glory of the cross, the weight of the cross, the gravity of the cross, the beauty of the cross. What happened that time is what has made us today. Bwana asifiwe. Yeah. is what has made us today. So, don't be afraid to testify. Don't be afraid to confess. Don't be afraid to be an example of the cross or of Jesus Christ himself. Kutukanwa, that's okay. Mockery, it's okay. Madharau, it's okay. Huyo tutaambiwa tu. Kama Yesu aliambiwa na katukanwa, then when we carry our own cross, hizo vitu zitatujia. Bwana asifiwe. Tusimame tuombe.